So in this episode, we take the coronet down to Colorado Springs. There, my dad has a shop that we're going to store it at and get a little bit of work done over the winter. So we ended up having to load in pitch black darkness, and right after we finished loading, I went to go get fuel, forgot to raise the jack, and ended up dragging it and bending it. And if you guys have been following the channel, you know I have this 68 satellite. I have to move it so I can get that truck out and pull the motor out of that. So we had to tear down that shed and push it back in there. Now don't freak out on me, guys. We did tie some tires to the front of the car, and we're pushing bumper to bumper with the tires as a cushion, so there's not any damage going on, even though it may look violent. So we really had to shuffle cars around. We pulled the Chevelle out of the garage, parked it where the truck was, pulled the truck out of that spot, lined it up in front of the garage to get it ready to pull that motor out. And just to show you guys, the satellite definitely didn't take any damage. The bumper was already jacked up. The grill looks fine. The hood is actually popped. It does still close, so everything's good. So by the time I actually got down there and moved all the cars around, it was pretty late in the day. So we just got the truck in position to pull the motor the next day. The truck has sentimental value to us. It's my grandfather's old truck. So I'm kind of excited that we get to, extend its legacy on in other vehicles. The motor is a 440 big block. It's tied to a 727 torque flight, and it's probably got about 350 horsepower. So once we got everything disconnected, we pulled the motor out, and we got it dropped on the floor and put off to the side. But while we were taking everything apart, I noticed there was a license plate underneath by the frame, and I kind of started looking. It looks like it was a heat shield that they put in there once the 440 went in to prevent the fuel from boiling while it was in the rail. Headers they had on them didn't actually fit, so they had to hammer them in, so they made dent clearance. But they were so close to that rail, that's where that license plate was. So now that we've got it out of the truck, we're probably going to swap the cam, change the heads, change the intake manifold, and throw a pretty beefy Demon carb on it. So some of those other things that I found interesting was he actually used 2 paper gaskets for the exhaust, and then he also had a worm gear clamp holding the dipstick tube to the exhaust headers. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. The plans with this car is to make it a drag week car, so stay tuned.